Good evening, everybody. Welcome to One Hub Racing season number 13. This is qualifying night. We welcome you to the 9:30 lobby, which is taken around about 15 minutes for us commentators to join. I'm Kieran McGinley. Joining me in the commentary box is Jack Canaan, also known as Soup Cooler. Jack, we're finally here.
We've had an ordeal to get in here. It's been horrible. Well, it says in the title 9:30. It's about 9:45. We're very sorry about that. We just could not get into the lobby. Everybody else was sitting in there. It was only us that couldn't get in. But finally, we're here for qualifying. Now, it's always exciting to start off a new season, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's also something I haven't really done before, a qualifying night. Obviously, the rules state that only the super soft times will count towards your tier placement. So any laps set on softs or mediums, they will not count. You'll have to go again, and if you don't set a lap time on a super soft set of tyres, then your lap time is invalid full stop. So it really puts that pressure on, and as you can see, everyone but Nick in the, I think that's the Haas there, 19th place, or on a set that's not super soft. So these are just some installation.
Oh dear, we've already had a crash.
Oh no.
We've got a Toro Rosso in the gravel in turn 3. That looks like pole, it is.
Well, luckily damage is off, and all the cars ghost anyway, so that's a plus. But it will still be distracting to see someone just in the middle of the track, whether they're ghosted or not.
Well, the first man who's going to be setting a lap for qualifying night is VSR Blizzard, who was championship contender last year in Prestige, and there's no question he's going to be in Prestige next year. If he gets put in any tier lower, I'm actually going to have a riot, honestly. This man is an alien, as we've seen.
Yeah, we have, and I'm very familiar with Blizzard, actually. And well, I think the fastest lap time that we've seen tonight so far in this qualifying night was from June in the 8:30 lobby. He managed to set a 1:16.9. Now, so you were looking at the Prestige pole. It's a 1:16.4, but there were some terms and conditions to that one.
Yes, there were. Pretty much everybody, all of the quick guys, set their laps on soft compound tyres. There was only 2 drivers in the top 10 on the super soft tyre. And one of the drivers, I believe it was Noak, he's not here this season, but he set a 1:16.4 on softs. So that kind of shows where we're going with this, but I think we're expecting times within the 1:15s. That's what I expect out of Blizzard anyway. Let's see what he's going to set the benchmark as. He's on soft tyres. Not going to count, obviously, but we'll get an idea as he goes to the pit lane. Cheers, Blizzard.
Absolutely. Well, that's insta-lappery complete then from Blizzard. He makes way back to the pits.
Yep. So, Kieran, who are you familiar with in here? Have you commentated over any of these guys?
Well, obviously I've seen Nick go off the track in the 8:30 lobby. I'm very familiar with that one. We were both watching that live, Jack, as we were trying to set up all of our facts and whatnot. Obviously I know Jack from other leagues, Lambo, Blizzard, Francis, Josh, Samster, who was the Pinnacle Tier champion last time out. I've come across Onyx, Marquezes as well, Poe, Spag there at the bottom of the table so far. So I've come across a lot of these guys so far. Not all of them, but this is a great chance to find out who's going to be the quickest out of this one. Now remember, the lobbies aren't adjusted on pace, of course. They're just sort of random, and anyone can fit anywhere. And it's the times you set there.
It looks like we've got a Red Bull off in the last corner. I think that's Francis who somehow managed to bin it in the gravel on the last corner, and he's currently driving the wrong way to get back to the pit lane.
Oh,
so.
Lovely.
In you go, Francis. Well done.
And currently revving the engine very hard as he makes his way into the pits. Now, what are you going to do? Anyway, the first valid lap, the only valid lap so far, is from Nick in the Haas there, Nick G. Currently a 1:19.5, which is, well, maybe it's just a sighter lap at the moment. 1:17.8 from Lakitu on the soft tyres. Are we going to see any lap times quicker than sort of a mid 1:16, considering that the track is green from the very start?
Sorry, Kieran, I'm just witnessing Jack driving the wrong way. This is the second time I've seen this. Jack just drove halfway down the pit straight backwards to get to the pit lane. Have we missed something? I've never seen this before.
They might be at a different track. You never know.
Okay, that might be just a hidden hairpin, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, Keith is currently on top by quite a margin on the soft tyre. 117.8, not going to count, as we said. Only the super soft ones actually count. But the Key 2 currently top in the Merc. Didn't quite get his win in Prestige Tier, but I think he's got a good shot at it this year. Don't think Julian's competing this year. Our champion, he's not competing for lack of enjoyment of the game. I think is why he removed himself. But I'm sure we'll see. Perhaps the Key to get himself a win there. Just noticing Lenny there at P4. That's I know him as Lenny in the Williams. Seen him in previous leagues. Familiar with the guy. I bully him quite a lot actually. So
well, that's nice.
It's good to have. If he doesn't end up in Prestige, for his own sake and his own, so I hope he doesn't end up in Prestige because I'll just bully him even more. Sorry, Lenny. I love you really.
It sure shows. It really
does. Oh dear, Nick's gone again. We got a Haas around the last corner.
Perfect. Yeah, there he is. The number 92 Haas, and well, luckily for them, damage is off. So any trips or the walls is just brush it off, come back to the pits, pop on a new set of tyres. Of course, Jack, it is a green track, so you know tyre wear might be a little bit higher. Got less chances, of course, as well. There's no maximum engine mode because, of course, it is practice. It's not qualifying, so they can only go up to rich as the limitation. So we're not going to see those amazing fast lap times for those two reasons alone, pretty much. As Blizzard now goes up 117.7 on soft tyres.
Yep. Watch this. I told you we're not missing anything. I just saw Blizzard trying to go back down the wrong way and reversing off the circle. What is he doing? Is he going to drive backwards down the...
I think he is.
Huh.
Well,
this is...
It's
I'm
unorthodox.
A bit lost for words, honestly.
It's unorthodox. Is it allowed? I have no idea. Well, he's not been disqualified, so I mean, it'll be frowned upon. That's
do what you need to do, I suppose. Anyway, Oldo's beginning a lap. Raf has gone quickest, actually, 17.5. Good to see him back, of course. Came close to a win again as well. Didn't quite get it, but was quick in the second half of the season, and I'm sure he's going to be back in Prestige. This is pretty much, this entire qualifying session is pretty much the Prestige Tour qualifying night. If I'm totally honest, pretty much 70% of these guys were in Prestige last year, and they're probably going to be in it again. But we still haven't seen any fast times, there's still 20 minutes to go. So half-hour session, best time counts, has to be on the Super Softs if you've never seen this before, and your best time will get selected and will be chosen or go towards the tier that you may be put in. I think we've had a crash. The Kitu's off the road in Sector 2.
And he is indeed. That's a corner that's you know, quite an interesting one when it's at the turn 7 and 8 complex, and it's always going to be difficult, that corner, especially if the ballast is too far to the rear. Even if it's not too far to the rear, the back end always wants to step out on you. The further you put the ballast backwards, the further that back end slips out on you. So if you like your car planted, like I do, you're always going to struggle with that corner in particular. Yeah,
it's kind of deceivingly... you go into it and you realise how kind of off-camber and undulating it is. It goes uphill and it gets off-camber on the entry. So it really kind of upsets the car's balance as you go through it. Jack, first the Super Soft runners, 117.45. I think that's just showing you. I don't know how quick, I don't know how hard he was pushing, but I guess that kind of shows how fast the guys were going on the Super. Everybody's driving backwards down the straight. This is not a joke. I've just seen Onyx doing it. I'm seeing Toro Rosso doing it at one point. Okay, we'll just have to get used to it, I suppose.
I think we will, and lots of people are saying that it's just the quickest way to get back to the pits, and well, that's right. I'm not sure if it's the quick, you know, the safest way to get back, but then ghosting is on. That's the difference between these some of these guys who are in the Prestige League. They know the rules, and well, the rules say you know, there's no rule saying that you can't do that, so they've interpreted that as you can do that. So yeah. I would say exploiting loopholes is not cheating. That's my view on it, and obviously they're doing that. We've got the third Nick in this lobby right now. I'm just going to call him Thompson. It's the easiest way to go about it. 118.2 on a set of super softs. That then becomes a valid lap. So he's able to,
Yep.
if all goes wrong, he set a 118.2.
Yep, always nice to have a banker lap in you anyway. A lot of the guys still out on supers. Just the soft tire. Trying to see if anybody else is out on super. It's kind of hard to see. I don't think there is actually. So we're going to be sitting here towards the end of the qualifying and still have no representative or actual valid laps until maybe the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and of course the drivers here are lapping and just putting some rubber down on the ground. So when you get to that last 5 minutes, you're going to see everybody put on a set of super soft tyres and really go for it. These are the guys that are just going to leave it to one shot maybe. But I wouldn't leave it all down to one shot. This isn't a normal qualifying session. If they don't set a lap time on the super softs and it's not registered as their fastest lap, then you know they really risk not being able to get into a league that they want to, or at least a tier that they want to.
Yeah, it's always better to have the security. But obviously these guys just want to kind of show what they're capable of, kind of show off by doing these times on the soft tire. Blizzard's actually just kind of decided to make it a little bit more interesting, and he's come out on the super softs. So this will be a representative lap from him, we hope.
That's if he doesn't come in again.
That's if he doesn't come in again, which is most likely, because he does that a lot on me. He did that a lot on me in Prestige Tier last year.
Yeah, I remember some hot laps. You were doing it with Blizzard, and it just pits in, and it ruins that.
It completely ruins it, indeed. Yeah.
Exactly. But here he comes in on for what will be a flying lap with 17 minutes to go. At the moment, you can see I've currently got it on the best tyre at the moment. So only 3 people at the moment have set valid lap times, but we're not halfway through the session yet, so that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah, I'm just keeping on board with Blizzard, trying to see how he's doing to these corners. Just Sector 3, Sector 1 split is comes to an end here, and we'll come through Turn 4. Really easy to lose the rear end there if you're not careful onto the brakes. For Turn 5, the hairpin. Raf has done a 17.3 on the softs. The times are tumbling as the rubber starts to get laid down. Then we come to 6 and 7 and 8. 6 and 7, and we come to Turn 8, which is the fast right-hander. If you get the corner wrong, you're going to have a really bad day. And second DRS section down towards the end of Sector 2, and Sector 2 splits just at the end of that straight. Get it turned in. This is what I call the street section, because it's so tight and twisty. That corner is really difficult, really upsets the balance of the car. Then we run down to the chicane. The old circuit would have carried on straight there, which would have been a whole lot better in my opinion, because he carried a whole lot more speed. Oldems has just gone second, 1:17.3, good man Oldems. And coming to the line now, where is Blizzard going to go? What time is this going to be? It's a 17.2 on the super softs. So obviously the fact that it's a practice session is kind of, I think, negating the difference between the softs and the super softs. I'm not too sure.
Josh as well going into 4th place, 1:17.442 from him so far, and he'll be making his way back towards the pits lane. A couple of more super soft times coming in on the board now, but as you can see, Rafa, Odems, 1:17.3s on a set of soft tyres. So there's a 1:16 in them for sure, because you know the soft tyres here cost you around half a second, maybe even 6/10, as Josh comes now into the pit lane. So I'm expecting to see a high 1:16 at least.
Yep, as Onyx does what we're seeing a lot now. He's driving back down the pit straight. We'll see who else we can pick out on Superstars. We have Raikkonen. Anybody else? Francis has come back out on Supers. Just keep an eye on anybody else. Paul has also come out as well on Supers, so that we're gradually getting towards seeing everybody set valid laps. And but it's even though the laps may not be totally valid, it's nice to see how close everyone is.
Absolutely. And I'm going flying to Sector 3, but that's just probably...
That's Blizzard going the wrong way.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Well then, that's not normally something you call a yellow flag for, but there you go.
Yep, I just hope they don't actually do this in the actual league race. and they forget themselves and do that.
Well, in the actual league race, they'd get disqualified.
That's very true. Penalties are off by the looks of it. Just corner culling penalties are probably the only ones that are turned on for this. The Key2 is about to unleash the Mercedes around this circuit on the Supers. We'll see how he gets on. Pole is just currently spinning back around, going the wrong way. Anybody else we can see? Looks like Raikkonen's about to finish a lap. It's nice to see Raikkonen actually in a Ferrari. Kind of a familiar name.
Familiar name in a familiar car, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. How's he getting on through the last corner? Do a kind of lap he's going to set for us. Comes across the line and he will go 8th on a 17.8. So he's about 4 tenths, well, nearly about 6 tenths of a second off of the fastest time, which overall isn't bad in the lobby this competitive.
What about he's coming up towards fast turn 9, using the curve on the left hand side. Now Francis has always blamed me for putting a curse on him, because he says whenever I commentate on him he does badly, so unlucky Francis. I'm commentating over this one. Let's hope you break the curse, because it doesn't exist.
Well, he's going to meet a car coming the wrong direction now in a second. He goes fastest, so he's not doing too badly.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment then, 1:17.2, fastest lap of this lobby so far, but not the fastest of the night. And of course, those lap times mean all the world for you to get into the tier. Most of these guys, as you say, Jack, will want to get into the prestige tier, and most of them have the pace to do so. It's whether they can find it on the night.
Yeah, that's always the key. But prestige tier was always renowned for being close, and I mean we've got 3 drivers all on 117.3s, which is kind of what we're used to at this point. Prestige tier, just see the gap. Yeah, there's 800s between the top 4. That's what we like to see. We have 2 tenths between the top 7, half a second separating the top 10, pretty much. So everybody's really close, really competitive.
Rafa getting 6 and 7, or 7 and 8 wrong. Sorry to cut you off there, Soup. And now round he goes around turn 9. That's what happens when you have grass on the tyres there. And Rafa, who was 2 tenths up through sector 1 on his previous best lap time, that was looking like it could have been a 1:16. But yep, that's lap time over now. And this is the thing, you can really find yourself under pressure, because this lap time means everything. It places you in the tier for the next 8 races, so you really have to knuckle down and iron out those mistakes as best you can.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one to spin as well. Jack spun as well in the last sector. It looks like he actually spun again on the way to the pit lane. Gets it together, but everybody's kind of pushing the limits. Obviously the practice is always going to be slower and the track's going to be a whole lot slippier. So you're kind of just seeing that that difference that exists between the lobbies. But only about 11 minutes left to go, so we're definitely going to see everybody out in the Supersofts right now, and that's pretty much what we're seeing. Almost a couple of guys still yet to make the jump.
Ooh, that's Lawman's off and into the wall on the exit of turn 9. That is something that's been catching all the drivers out across the lobbies. They're really pushing hard, and Lawman's is the latest one to have a meeting with the barrier, and of course with the damage off he can just brush it off and hope no one saw it. Unfortunately the stream was right on him as it happened.
Yeah, it's always the way. Who are we looking at? I think we're gonna just having a look at Josh as he comes through sector 3. I've always liked to watch Josh simply because his driving style is quite spectacular. He likes to go sideways quite a lot, and in the rain it's quite something. And I don't know how he holds onto the car half the time. Here he comes to the last corner now, spinning up the tyres. Where's he going to go? With this time, I'm sure it's going to be a decent lap. He comes across the line, and he goes quick. It's 1:17.1.
Absolutely.
So times are tumbling.
Times are tumbling with 10 minutes to go. And just a quick one here. Of course, One Hub has a new sponsor for the season. It is Next Level Racing, I believe. And it is nextlevelracing.com. You can buy merchandise now, I believe, from One Hub. Lovely purple and black. Unfortunately, they won't fit me, but maybe they'll fit you.
What are you saying about me? Yeah.
Good luck getting me into something like material. 6'3". Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, Next Level Racing, brand new sponsor. I don't actually think they sell merch, Kieran. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Well, they sell something. I know that.
Yeah. No, it's you're thinking of next gen. Next level. They're the next level racing is where you want to go if you want to get your sim racing rig. If you want some really nice equipment, you can head over there nextlevelracing.com and get yourself some nice sim racing equipment. They've got some big partners over there. They've got some V8 supercar drivers using their equipment, so they're quite established. So if you want some new equipment, make sure to head over there. It helps the league out too if you go over there and click on the affiliate link. They'll obviously earn a little bit, and you'll save a bit too. So make sure to head yourself over there, nextlevelracing.com.
That is
as great. Lenny goes the wrong way.
Well, you know what? That was a great ad read, and you know, I only wish I could do the same. Oh well.
Now, I have never seen anybody do 180 miles an hour in the wrong direction around Barcelona. That's a new one. Well done, Lenny.
I tell you, lapping, not to give anybody any ideas, but lapping a track backwards is very tempting. I've done it once before.
I've tried it.
Around Spain, you know, it's a completely different circuit. But going forwards, anyway, let's concentrate on forwards, because that's what the timed laps are going to be. It's one of those tracks that obviously people love to test around here. Real Formula 1 loves to test around here as well, because it's such a balanced track. You've got low speed corners, high speed corners to test the aero. You've also got the long straight all the way down towards turn 1 that can test the top speed. So really finding the setup that works. You know, Luke was saying in the 730 lobby when he was there, you know, if you run a default setup, you're going to struggle, because the default setups here don't quite accommodate for a track as challenging as Barcelona is.
Yeah, and of course, they used a different track last year. They were in Bahrain for qualifying now, which again is another balanced circuit, but again, it doesn't quite have the number of high-speed flowing corners that Barcelona does. Just watching Lambo hasn't actually quite set a representative lap at all yet. I know he's quick, so he's on the super soft, going really sideways, and he's going completely off the road into the wall. How has he missed the wall? Oh god, there's another Toro Rosso in the gravel with him as well. That's absolutely horrific.
That was Jack, actually. Oh, my goodness. You're alright, Jack.
Synchronized.
That seems to caught you off
collisions, for the simple fact that I was on board with Lambo, he flips around and I just see a Toro Rosso arriving at 150 miles an hour sideways into him. If collisions were on, dear god, that would have been horrific.
Sure, why not? Well,
Rafa, he's beginning a lap on the supers.
And there it is, 1:16.7.
Well, let's say, there, 16.7. I said he was beginning, well, he's actually ending on 1:16.7, and close enough to the pole time from last season.
Yeah, and you know what that means? That's the fastest lap of tonight, so at the moment he's pretty much guaranteed himself a place in that prestige tier.
Yep. Let's see if anybody can match it. Can Blizzard match it at all? He almost can. He does a 16.9, but not quite.
16.996. Well, it's a 1:16. You can't take that away from him now.
Second man to make it into the 1:16s, and again the second fastest time of the night.
Absolutely. And well, actually, it's not quite the second fastest lap time. June set of 16.940. Remember. So
close enough, yeah.
Close enough, yeah. Why not? There's someone we haven't actually mentioned. De Boer in 9th place, 1:17.7 on soft tyres. We haven't mentioned him at all in this session so far. So shout out to him. At the moment, 1:17.7. Expecting then him to get a low 1:17 at least on those super soft tyres. So that's going to put him up the order. We've also got Samsa there in 15th at the moment. Last year's Pinnacle Tier champion. 1:18.0 on soft tyres, so maybe a mid 1:17 from Samster, maybe low.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. But we had Oldham's on a 1:17.3 on soft, so there's definitely more to come from him. Two Ferraris are kind of running are running in tandem right here. Looks like Samson's getting a toe off Raikkonen. That seems familiar. From different Ferrari getting a toe off Raikkonen.
I don't.
I've seen this somewhere before.
I don't think slipstream exists in this one because the cars are all ghosts.
True.
If it did,
but yeah, if it did, it'd be something. See what Samster can do. He's actually finishing his lap now, so comes across the line and he will go into 6th place, 1:17.367, the exact same time as Odems. And I'm not sure how that works. That he goes ahead of Odems, even though he said it first. I'm not too sure how that works. Possibly the compound.
Yeah, maybe, but that shouldn't make that much of a difference. But well, there you go. Anyway, well, at least position doesn't matter. Remember, in this
yeah,
in this, unless of course it comes back to the 20th and 21st places in tiers. Is separated by that, then obviously it would be Marquez's at the moment. But again, Marquez's lap doesn't count right now, so that's that problem instantly solved.
Yeah, very true. He's got to get himself out on track fairly quick in the next minute or so for him to actually have a chance at setting a valid lap. Anybody else we can see? Nick down the back in 20th. What can he get himself further up? He's currently on the lap. We'll see how he gets on, of course. Lormans, he's about to unleash the Force India around the circle. We can still call it a Force India because it's 2018 in this game. I still haven't quite got used to calling it a racing point yet.
No, well, you've got until around about June, July, and so you have to get used to that. And remember, these are the super soft tyres we're on, not the softs, not just yet.
Oh, we've got to get used to that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And actually, that's kind of more confusing for us now. We've been so used to the system for so long that all these are going to be soft, medium, hard. That's going to be a pain. I was
in a watch party for the opening round, and I was like, "Oh, what? They've come up on the super soft tyres," and everyone just gave me a strange look.
But of course, since we're talking about...
Oh, go on, you can speak this time.
Yeah, well, since we're talking about pit stops, new rule for next season, mandatory 2-stop for this season, which is going to really mix up some strategy at last. I've never actually seen the league do it, as Lakitu's absolutely bottled it in Sector 1. But yeah, we've just been so used to, for so long, having the simple one-stop strategy, but one hub's decided, you know what, take a 2-stop and make it interesting. I think it's going to be really, really intriguing to see how the drivers actually think about their strategy for once.
Yeah, of course, it's 2-stop strategies. Remember, there's only 8 rounds in the season as well, so yeah, it's going to put a lot more pressure on the drivers to make those 2 stops work, because if you make a mistake in one race, well, you know, you're 25 points down, 7 races to go. That's still a big margin to make up. There's really, in this season, there's not a lot of room for errors.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So pretty much everybody is out on the track apart from Lormans, who's coming back into pit lane. That's the last we'll see of him in quality night. Jesse, he's on. Yeah, everybody's out on track. So we'll see what the final spate of laps are going to be, and who's going to be the fastest. Looks like Raf at the moment.
Jarrett 1:18.2 on the super softs right now. So makes way down towards turn 1. He will get one more chance, but that ERS battery level doesn't look too encouraging to me, as I believe that was someone moving up the order. Couldn't quite tell who it was, but yeah, we've got Marquez's as well. Now out onto a set of super soft tyres as he now makes his way towards turn 4. We'll just see what he can do in this one. We've got Spag there, now making his way through turn 3. Beautiful.
Oh dear God, there's been a horrific accident in front of him. And some Haas has collided with the wall.
Oh, that's Josh! Whoa!
Oh dear God, Josh, what have you done?
Checkered flag comes out. Josh knows that's lap gone, and we'll have to see who's next to the line.
Yeah, okay, so one of the Hasses has done a Roman Grosjean in turn 3, and Onyx is around in turn 8 as well. Oh, they're all getting called out by it. Oh, dear, many almost died into him as well. If collisions were on, this would be horrific. Josh, Francis, Alex, all having crashed. What about Blizzard? Can he improve just to have the bragging rights of taking the top spot? What about Marquez's? What can he do? Across the line, where does he go? He goes third fastest, 1:17.0, not bad at all. That pretty much secures him prestige, I'd reckon.
Yeah, and Sam's has apparently got a 3-second time penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. Well,
that's interesting.
Well, it won't add on to his best lap time, that's for sure. But Sam's is out here. I wonder if that's going to actually invalidate his lap time then. He's definitely backed off, so it might have done. Here comes Lakitu coming into the final chicane now in 14 and 15. And sort of sliding that back end out as he makes it.
Oh, Sam's in the wall. And, he's in the wall. Oh,
he's spinned it as well, as he probably realises there's no way back from that one. And Poe has backed out of his lap now, so that is everybody's lap times completed now. And as you can see, Rafa sets the fastest time of qualifying night. It's a 1:16.7, and that pretty much guarantees him into the prestige tier, and we'll have a full lineup of the qualifying times very, very shortly. We'll wait for everyone to connect to the results screen, and I think I've just done enough talking to bring up the results, and there they are. Rafa then 1:16.7, Blizzard 1:16.9, Marquez is 1:17.0, Josh 1:17.1, Francis 1:17.2, same time for Onyx, Lakitu 1:17.3, Samster getting a no place grid penalty, interesting, 1:17.367, De Boer there 1:17.3, Raikkonen 1:17.3, Spag and Chips 1:17.4, Poe 1:17.4, Jack 1:17.4, a lot of those. Jesse there 1:17.8, Nick 1:17.8, Law was 1:17.9, Rambo 1:17.9, Thompson 1:18.0, Jorrit 1:18.2, and Nick G 1:19.5, and all those lap times count because they were on the super soft tyres. So they've done all the hard work now. Qualifying night is officially over, and now it's up to the admins of OneHub to organise everybody, take all of those lap times, put them in a huge spreadsheet, and then make the cut-off for every 20th place.
Better them than us, honestly.
I mean, if we had trouble joining this session, then we would have no hope trying to organise the tiers. But obviously the tiers will be announced next Friday, so make sure you subscribe to OneHub, make sure you click the notification bell so that you're notified every time we go live. And obviously there's a qualifying here that we're not going to cover because we've done our qualifying night, so we will bid you all farewell. Thank you for watching as the safety cars go too. Well, there you go. Oh my goodness! Well, is that a prerequisite for the entire season? The safety car speeds out. We can't top that at all. So we shall bid you farewell. I've been Kieran McKinley. I've been Super Cooler, or Jack, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. Professional. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.